Hi, my name is Phil. I'm the development chef here at Clover Food Lab, and this week for our pizzas, we're going to be doing something a little different. So our founder, Air, big fan of pizza and sort of all things pizza related, and oftentimes at home he will make a calzone instead of pizza. So we're going to kind of give you the tools and know-how here to do calzones with all the things you would normally get in a pizza kit, with a couple things that are a little bit more calzone specific for this week. So the two pizzas this week are going to be a broccoli and kale and cheddar mozzarella calzone, and the other one is going to be the Impossible Meatball and the same cheddar mozzarella mix using the great Grafton cheddar. So to start with the meatball one of the first things you're going to want to do, just put down a little bit of cheese on just one half of your stretched out dough. And you're going to stretch this exactly the same way that you would stretch it for a pizza. So just put that down like that. But very important, you only want to put these ingredients on one half. So I put down a little bit of cheese first because that kind of is going to create a little bit of a layer between the crust and your other ingredients. Next, we're going to take our Impossible Meatball. You could cut this up. You could put them in whole. It might be a little chunky, but I'm just going to break those up into little crumbles. You also want to make sure that you don't get any ingredients on this rim of the pizza because it'll make it harder to fold over. You want to put a little bit more cheese on top. Next, you take this side of your pizza dough, just gently fold that over. You're going to want to make sure that you really brushed enough of that rice flour on the board so that it's not stuck when you pull that over. Then next, just sort of twist and crimp that edge. You could get fancy and use a fork if you want to put a pattern on it, but really you just want to make sure that it's sealed, kind of pulling and pinching. Like this might look a little wrinkly here, but as it bakes in the oven, that should sort of poof out a little bit. All right. Now, once you have your calzone all set, you want to take a really sharp knife and just make a couple little holes. This is optional. You don't necessarily have to get in there and do this, but putting in the little steam vents will help it, a little bit from possibly exploding. Our next calzone is going to be the garlicky kale and roasted broccoli. So broccoli might have some kind of different sized florets. You could put them in whole like this. I like to cut them up a little bit. These are already roasted, so you don't have to do any extra cooking. It's really important with your calzones that you want to start with ingredients that are either already fully cooked or at least partially cooked, because it's not really going to be in the oven long enough for anything raw to cook inside the calzone. It's a great way to use up leftovers. If you have leftover pizza dough some week and you have other stuff in your fridge that you'd like to use in a slightly different format. So just like our first calzone, I'm going to start with a little layer of cheese. Take some of our garlicky kale. Some nice sweet onions in there as well. More cheese on top of that. You kind of want the cheese in there to bind everything together. If you just put straight vegetables on vegetables, they'll sort of get steamy and a little soggy, and the cheese kind of helps with that. It keeps everything together. This one's going to be a little more loaded than our first calzone. Last round of cheese. Basically can't put too much cheese in here. If you have other cheeses at home that you want to try out, by all means, get them in the calzone. You will have gotten a little container of sauce this week, but that is strictly for dipping. All right, then we're going to do the same procedure as before. Just going to bring that dough gently over the top. Make sure that it's sort of evenly around the edge. Brush off any excess flour. And then go around the edge and fold it over. Go back over one more time just to be safe. One more thing to mention, we also gave you a little thing of chili flakes. We're just kind of trying this out this week. You can add this to either or both. I think it's particularly good with the garlicky kale pizza. All right, so once both of your calzones are ready to go, you can just put them straight in the oven like this, or if you want to be a little bit more decadent, you could brush them with olive oil or melted butter. Both are great. All right. Once your calzones are all set, you're going to want to put these into a 425-degree oven. Now these are going to cook a little differently than your regular pizzas. They might take a little bit longer. You just want to look for it to kind of get a light, toasty, golden brown look on top. If you did use butter or olive oil, they will go a little faster and look a little browner. All right, so after about 14 minutes, your calzone should look like this. Again, if you used any fat or oil or butter brushed on the outside, they might have browned a little bit more than this, but this is what you're looking for, nice and golden brown. You should have some of those nice sort of pizza crust style blisters on there, and when you tap on it, it should sound kind of hollow. Gives you an idea that it's fully cooked. It springs back. It's not like just mushy anymore. All right, and there you have it. That's your calzone.